Good day, ma'am. My concept map is all about water compartments. Water compartments is the distribution of water, often is described in terms of interacting compartments in which water resides, sometimes briefly and sometimes for eons. The length of time water typically stays in compartment is its residence time. A water molecule stays in the oceans for about 3,000 years, for example, before it evaporates and starts through the hydrologic cycle again. And the first water compartments is oceans. Oceans hold 97% of all water on Earth. Together, the ocean contains more than 97% of all the liquid water in the world. The water of crystallization in rocks is far larger than amount of the liquid water. Oceans are too salty for most human uses, but they contain 90% of the world's living biomass. While the ocean basins really form continuous reservoir, shallows and narrows between them reduce water exchange. So they have different compositions, climatic effects, and even different surface elevations. The next is glaciers, ice, and snow. Of the 2.4% of all fresh water, nearly 90% is tied up in glaciers, ice caps, and snowfields. Glaciers are rivers of ice flowing downhill very slowly. Now occur only at high altitudes or high latitudes, but as recently as 18,000 years ago, about one-third of the continental landmass was covered by glacial ice sheets. And then next, we have the groundwater. After glaciers, the next larger reservoir of fresh water is held in the ground as groundwater. Precipitation does not evaporate back into the air or run off over the surface, percolates through the soil and into fractures and space of permeable rocks in a process called infiltration. Upper soil layers that hold both air and water make up the zone of aeration. Next, we have rivers, lakes, and wetlands. Precipitation does not evaporate or infiltrate into the ground, runs off over the surface, drawn by the force of gravity back toward the sea. Rivulets accumulate to form streams, and streams join to form rivers. Although the total amount of water contained at any one time in rivers and streams is small compared to the other water reservoirs of the world, these surface waters are vitally important to humans and most of other organisms. Lastly, we have the atmosphere. The atmosphere is among the smallest of the major water reservoirs of the Earth in terms of water volume, containing less than 0.001% of the total water supply. It also has the most rapid turnover rate. An individual water molecule resides in the atmosphere for about 10 days on average, while water vapor makes up only a small amount of the air's total volume. Movement of water through the atmosphere provides the mechanism for distributing fresh water over the land masses and replenishing terrestrial reservoirs. And that's all, and thank you for listening.